and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shit Talking Time with your boy Girls, if not me, who else? Time to do what we do best. Talk this shit, man. Um, I got two things on the menu today. Like I said, I try not to keep stewing on the same thing. I haven't been touching much pause on that whole Lil Durk situation because to me, like I said, I just don't like it. Yeah, I just really don't like it too much. It's a fucked up situation. If the details that's coming out, the way they coming out, are the way they is, I mean, it's just crazy. I just would think, you know, I just would think, I don't want to use the narrative that money's gonna make you smarter because it fucking doesn't. So any of your dickheads keep saying that out there, you're retarded. It don't make you smarter. It just make you do dumber things. To be honest. That's just my theory. But I'm gonna keep everybody, in my best interest. Until all the facts is laid out, all the evidence is out. Not the internet detectives' evidence, the actual law enforcement's evidence, the one that's gonna get him put away. Um, so we going as far as on this platform, that's as much as we gonna say. Because I mean, it's just been so much over the board. OTF Jam wore wire. OTF Jam didn't wear wire. OTF Jam wasn't even there. He needed money for his baby mom funeral. They didn't pay. Then somebody saying he did pay. I don't fucking know. Like I said, it's just too much shenanigans. Shout out to Trenches News. I mean, I definitely do, watch a lot of his videos because I'm a believer that the best way to stay up on a city situation is from somebody in the city. I mean, I know the media is definitely going to do their thing, but their narrative is going to be always as the way they want to see it. As far as like trenches news, everybody know when a nigga get famous, family get left behind, but they still have access to family that didn't, and they sharing their opinions. They talking about what they got going on and stuff like that, and that's yeah. And then, like I was saying, like as far as those family members, they be inclined to share information where I don't know out of spite. Um, some of the times, like I said, I'm not gonna always this ain't a negative platform. Some of them could be sharing the information as far as to get the truth out. It could be some shady shit going on. It could be a narrative that's being pushed that's not correct. It could be some wrong names in there that don't belong in there. So it's a different lot of alternatives when, shit like that get out. But I mean, I do say to what my knowledge, Trench's News do report pretty fair. I mean, he do seem to have like a little slight malice against OTF. I don't know. Old Block must have put it on and nigga back one time. I don't fucking know, but he do got a major disliking into him. I know my folks told me start watching that nigga, but at the end of the day, it's like he is informative on his city. I'm not watching him to report on Philly shit. I'm not watching him to report on Texas and none of that shit. I'm watching him to report on his city and his neighborhood because I do want to know what happened within the Dirt case. And then, like I said, to me, he the one that broke to me the second murder for hire with the details. So that's why I'm like, I don't. I mean, he has pretty good information, and it kind of does sound right. Also, y'all can go to pacer.gov and just read the shit for yourself too. I think it's like $11 or something like that. But the more y'all people keep going, it's going up. It's gonna be like $20 soon. But you more than welcome to download the paperwork. I don't care that much. And I don't need that type of content to me to go do that legwork. So I just watch trenches. I make my little slight opinion because it's somebody's ongoing case. I don't know nothing about their case. If I did, it wouldn't be said on camera because that's their personal business. That's just me. So, call it what you want to call it. But move on to the next topic. Diddy refusing the bail. I mean, I did, from what I'm to understand, that he offered them a lot to be able to go after to get bail based upon as the slightly, as they say, shaky evidence. But I heard he decided to take his thing back to where he was giving them his stuff. To me, I mean, that could be a form of innocence because, like I tell people all the time, I mean, I'm sorry. At the end of the day, it's just like a person who, like, we going to paint a picture real quick. Um, I'm your neighbor. I live on your street. Talking to anybody who's watching, and you got suspicions about me. I live pretty good. I dress pretty good. You see me home a lot during the day. What am I? I'm a criminal. I can't be a guy that just played the crypto market and hit big. Can't be a guy that might have grandfather died and had millions of dollars and just inherited to his long lost grandson. It's just a lot of things that people don't factor in when you paint a picture of somebody. And I mean, for me personally, I don't see anybody personally coming out from those parties saying they see X, Y, and Z at these parties. Everybody's making jokes saying, "Oh, I left before 9, or I left before 10." So what did you see? The videos, I don't feel as though is that if they are inappropriate and sex and shit, they not gonna release the videos on TV for us to see. One or two might get leaked online, but I mean, I tell people I question a lot of the footage because you telling me 2025 is the year where they sealed every leak out here? Because there's always a leak somewhere in one of these people how these videos make it out. They still question how did the original video make it out of him beating her ass in the hallway. But it is what it is. And then now they saying they got videos of her assisting at the freak offs and enjoying herself and so forth. So that's why I'll be like, it's a lot of little weird stuff with that case too. But the one thing that I will say about that topic before I leave off of the Diddy topic is it's not a lot of publicity like I thought it was. And that's the only reason why I'm gonna say that that man might spank this. Damn, it's a bad word around him. But I think he might beat this. And if he don't, I don't think it's gonna be to where the magnitude of people thinking it is. And I really feel that way because of the public. Like when R. Kelly went to trial, I see that shit on the news in my city, like he went to trial here. Stories, all that shit. I don't even know when did he go to trial. I don't know when he go to court or none of that shit. Only thing I see is when his kids ran down on somebody, Ray J or somebody. I don't see nothing about that man in jail. I think I seen the one little tidbit about him offering up all this stuff to get bail. And then I seen the tidbit with him saying he took it back and said, never mind, he'll just chill. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much. It's just a lot. So just like I said with the whole Lil Durk case, with the Diddy case, I hear a lot of speculated evidence, but I have not physically seen much of anything yet outside of what has been supplied online or what has said out someone's mouth. And none of us are in the courtroom. I don't think it's a public place where we all can go sit and listen, or it would be people putting stuff out here. And I think if I'm correct, that you can't do that. You can't sit and listen to somebody's personal trial and go out and dispute it unless you're a reporter. And I think you got to be able to have permission or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know I used to sit back in the courtroom and listen to people's cases, but I'm not a reporter. I'm not putting them online for the information that comes out of it because a lot of it was useful to later, you know, later things. And then they also made sense for people I knew. listening to and understanding how this situation was working in front of me while I was waiting on my situation to take off. And like I tell people, I mean, me myself, I've been arrested 7 times. I've been to trial 3 times, and I never lost, never told, never, not one time have I ever been arrested and gave a statement for anything. And like I tell people, it's good to be stand up. I mean, I don't use that part of my life to try to get me somewhere. I only use that part of my life to get me home safe every night and to keep my children safe. That's all that shit is the credibility for. Outside of everything else, I don't give a fuck about it. Like I tell people, you ain't gonna never catch me around to well, come kill me. But I promise you, if you touch me, I'm gonna kill you. So it's the way you look at it. I'm a grown ass man. But at the end of the day, I am somebody. And I mean, even in these days, like I tell people, man, you can't just take a man downfall and just use it for profit. I don't understand when that day became cool. I mean, people say the news does it, the tabloids eat a dick. They do it for a day. These niggas is making careers off of pointing out flaws until someone do it to them, and then it's fucked up. Is it still journalism when they go around and critique you the way you critique these people' personal businesses? So for these specific two topics, I really don't prefer to get too in depth into them because, like I said, I could afford to go get the paper from Pacer. I can afford to go do homework. I haven't watched any of them Diddy documentaries and none of that bullshit. I don't give a fuck because the one thing I got told my man, if you worry about what that man did with his penis, you gay. I don't care. I mean, I'm not being rude, and y'all can hold me to this. I do not know anything, and I mean, we gonna keep it real. Nigga, your mother, your sister, your aunt, your grandmother, um, any woman in your family, most likely. If that man pull up and say, "Hey, you trying to party with Diddy tonight?" Nigga, your folks going. So as far as the events of what happened with that bull, I don't know nothing about no drug and none of that shit. Has he any drugged anybody you know? Nah, he hasn't drugged anybody I know. That's why I tell people I can't judge people based off of the pretense of what they people are saying they did until I see otherwise. Um, moving on to the next topic, and this kind of blends right in, like I said, as far as on the Diddy thing. I mean, not you know, not being unbiased and trying to save my city, but like even for I felt a little salty to hear Meek Mills make the wrap up this year with that whole little like I don't really feel that way too much about that shit, but I just wonder how a nigga gonna say Meek this and Meek that, man. Mace was the first young boy he was dressing first. I was murdered. P. Diddy made me pretty. Remember, he said it himself. Diddy made him put the shiny suit on. So if you didn't want to wear the suit, did you go purchase it? I'm just saying, man, like this is the stuff that people fuck me up because this is a world that niggas eating dick from the back. They like to eat the balls first and then they shaft on down because the way that they move and the way that they operate shows that way. And it's like people ever like blatantly forget stuff that they see right in front of their face. So you telling me out of all these years, I mean, I guess Mace got away from that man before he turned into this savage, horned or alleged creep bull. Bullshit. You lived in his home, probably more than one of his homes. You spent countless hours around that man. That's why I say people gotta stop, man. But the world to get these niggas passes and not make them fucking keep it real because they got other people to throw shit on and let them be the one to look at. That's why I tell me, nigga, I wish I did. Nigga, if I had a way, I got some ways. Get with me, nigga. You talk 100K to clear your name, I can clear your name. I mean, it's just like I say, certain stuff the people gotta live with, but I really don't like how that shit go when there's other niggas. Just like once again, not trying to save my city, these are all facts. I put up a picture on a platform where Ken was over Diddy no crib. He was promoting big horsepower out. The video was the next slide after the photo, and I was on social media questioning like, yo, why this nigga in there with his zipper down? And then next thing you know, the shit go viral. But it ain't mine that go viral. My voice ain't big enough. But it was just cool to see that people pay attention like I do. Like, why are you in there with Diddy and your zipper down? Did he? Or you pissing and he came came in and just caught you off guard and you said, fuck it, just went with it because you seen the camera on but nobody made that nigga explain that moment. And if it's out there, find the video. I got $100. I ain't got 10,000. Fuck all that capture. I got $100. You find me the video with him explaining why was he in that man's house with his zipper down. And then it wasn't even prior, I bet you, because when I seen another angle of the video, it was I think Diddy's son, the light skinned one, was in there too. So it's like, where was the 10 bitches? Were they in a nut now? Keep it real. He can definitely say the nigga had 10 bitches at the pool, or the nigga had 10 bitches in the room upstairs, or it was some female somewhere in the vicinity, but nowhere in that camera angle did I see anything but pink horsepower and penis. Just gonna say, bro. I mean, this is what you gotta do when you pick with niggas, killer. You gotta take it as well as you dish it, bro. Oh, but it is what it is, and I'm gonna move on to y'all man next. I mean, for me myself, this right here is gonna probably be the most disturbing part of the show, but it's gonna be the realest part. Jimmy, Jimmy. One of my homies gonna probably laugh when he see this shit, but I always had a quarrel with Jimmy as far as his attitude. Don't get me wrong, American Gangster was the best. Cam, don't get mad at me. I love you to death, bro. But if he can duplicate American Gangster 5 times, oh, you and Mace, man, y'all better be upset. Y'all told that nigga how to rap. American Gangster to me is like one of my best, and I'm gonna even feel comfortable saying this because I like a lot of rappers from Harlem. But I'm gonna say out of my top 3 Harlem albums, that's one of them. And me not even fucking with Jimmy like that, and I still keep it 100 how I felt about that album. I'm sorry. And then it's like the bag. Now, when Jimmy came out like he appeared to be this goon and all this other shit. But a nigga like me remember everything. So it's like for me to be this goon and all this other shit, I seen the Rucker video 20 years ago on YouTube. That shit been on YouTube for a long time. That ain't nothing new. I remember when the nigga Arsenal brought it up in a battle, it was already on the internet for damn near a decade at that time. So that's why I say it's been weird shit dealing with him. Even the people he pressed. Where I lost love for Jimmy at is when Love and Hip Hop, I don't know if that was season 1 or season 2. He ran down on this bull named Maurice. He was the chick, I think her name was Samaya Reese. He was her manager or something. And he had him and these niggas run down on this fat, weirdo ass loser dude. But you ain't run down on True Life like that. And that's when I started thinking in my mind, I said, oh, he one of them. Don't get it fucked up. Freaky Zeke jumped in the crowd in Philly. Freaky Zeke, first one to jump off the stage. But it is what it is, man. But back to this nigga, man. It's just like me as a man. Jimmy did too much where I can't respect him. Um, I do agree with like some of the stuff. Like I said, I've been around for a while. No, I ain't DJ Envy or none of them. No, I wasn't at no parties. No, I didn't know none of that. But I've been following these niggas' music for a very long time. I did not know who the fuck Jimmy was until Dipset came out. And even then, when Dipset came out, I'ma keep it 100. I still ain't know who the fuck Jimmy was. Cause I was listening to 40 Cal. I was listening to Hell Rell. I was listening to J.R. Ryder. I was listening to Cam and Santana. So I'm not being ignorant, but I wasn't listening to Jimmy. The very first time when I started listening to Jimmy, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna probably say around certified gangster, cause that's when I first was like, okay, man, Jimmy can rap, man. He can rap, man. And Jimmy looked it so comfortable in that video. I said, yeah, the Jimmy got his foot in there. But all that balling shit and all that, yeah, it was a hit song. Niggas listened to it and all that shit, but it didn't get me. But Certified Gangster and that American Gangster album is where I built any type of ear for Jimmy and even gave Jimmy a chance, but his outside antics is what made me not like him. And then the arrogance that he carried. Like, nigga, I ain't never ran from nobody. Physically, nigga, feet ain't never did more than 0.1 or 0.00. I ain't never ran from a soul, my nigga. You gonna roll on me, you gonna punch on me, but I'm gonna go out like a man, beat up man, whatever, nigga. I'm not running from no fucking body. Also, too, I'm not running around pressing nobody that I know ain't gonna press back neither. No matter what the situation is, I'm not pressing nobody that don't press back because that ain't gangster to me, no way, shape, or form. So I mean, it's just a lot of things that he done in his time that I don't like. I mean, along with the other little weird shit, talk about it, he learned how to French kiss from his mom and all the other little goofy shit. Like, man, he did a lot of antics, man. I'm not gonna go on the topic like Cam and say he fronted everybody who fucked him up. The True Life did a number on the whole Dipset, not just you, Jimmy. He was on all y'all asses, but Jimmy just caught the backlash because Jimmy was the one in the streets. And that's the only respect I'm gonna give Jimmy because somebody made a good point. When you're a front runner like Cam is already a household name. He done already made albums. He got videos. He got notoriety. So Cam is always on tour with a more pop, popping artist at the time, but that he fuck with. So when you think about being at home, Jimmy ain't have music for years like that. He had mixtape music, but not music to go on tour with where niggas knew. That's where people don't realize balling was like his first platform for him to be like, okay, I got a song for me to be able to go on tour with you. Let me go and I can just do this. So open up with this song Gary June for you. So at the time before, guess what? He got stuck around the hood. So when all the problems that Ken created and all that shit, it was different. He had to stay in here and deal with it. I've been there before. And just like another scenario where I remember somebody was saying about when them niggas almost got robbed out with UK by them UK goons and all that shit. Like, dawg, I know a lot of stories dealing around them as far as not dealing with the gangster shit. As far as like I said, the whole little paper, like the paperwork. Like I said, I always question the gun shit, but somebody did tell me he got 2 years for it. I know it wasn't in New York, so it ain't like it's New York laws. I think it was like Virginia or Maryland. I don't know. Somewhere out of New York. I definitely do remember that part to my knowledge. But maybe that's how he got the 2 years, and maybe he got non-reporting probation because I never seen him go to jail. I don't know. Lil Wayne went to jail for a gun, but it was in the city of New York, so maybe that's why. Um, as far as the whole Takashi Jones, he wasn't the only one that I heard got caught on wiretaps. We ain't gonna talk about the other people because their ones ain't floating around. But I definitely heard that wiretap video was out for quite some time. I heard it years ago. I wonder how he never got picked up before you got people on Clubhouse saying that he got secretly picked up because he got affidavits in the pipeline. They just sealed where can't nobody can see. And I do agree. If it's a case that my man on and I ain't got shit to do with it, I ain't been picked up, I ain't gave a statement. Why would I have a sealed anything? I mean, you gotta create a document to be sealed, correct? Yeah, I'm just saying. So even when I ask those questions, and I mean, a lot of people say they try to get the documents and then listening to the clubhouse interview and Takashi saying, keep saying the terms, he got the same sealed paperwork like me. And then now you got niggas like Wack 100 saying that Takashi ain't fold other rappers or, would have had to fold. And I always wonder how that go. Um, the point I'm trying to make is, I'm not, I do fuck with him. I'm not a whole fan of Jim Jones. I mean, I am a fan of a lot of people he be around. I fuck with Fab. I mean, a whole lot of people. I fuck with Mano. And any nigga tell you that's the baddest thing about it. Why I kind of like don't go super ham on my platforms on Jimmy or I press my dislike is because of Mano. I've been a big fan of Mano for a long time. Anybody around me will tell you KOB stays in my playlist to this day. Never left. I'm gonna go harder than him. I'm gonna go harder than him. That shit still to this present day I listen to. So I mean, Mano is different because while we in this topic too, because they brought Mano up in the mix, so why not express what we got to express with Mano? Mano, you hurt me, but I respect you, bro. But when that situation arose, I like how your whole tone and demeanor was protecting your bull, which is what you supposed to do. Y'all got a brotherhood now, so it's not like I'm bad mouthing the nigga from. And I'm glad you played it that way, but these are the situations where you have to be brutally honest, and as a brother, he has to respect that. If you came at me, I checked you. You can't downplay it that way. That's why a lot of people giving you backlash right now, but your little sneaky ass could have did that on purpose to get the backlash, because the backlash get attention and it makes people look up your show now. So I mean, I think the things from different angles. That's why I'm sitting where I'm sitting at, Paul. But it's it's a lot to think about. Well, for you, man, oh man, I just wish you would have just addressed what happened. I wish you would have just told us because I don't care. I know you was running around on some goofy shit back then. I mean, I was cracking up, nigga. Like I was loving the shit because YouTube was around back then. Them videos was coming out of this shit. So you definitely was shit. You know what I mean? Niggas running around talking about they was gonna high hater slap niggas and all that shit. So I definitely, remember how you came out. The other part I was gonna say something about, but I'm gonna keep that to myself because I'm like how he highlighted the point. No, came. I said something about you, nigga. And he came at me because I said something about you. But we gonna leave that part out. We gonna, that's just for showtime. But I mean, those are like the things that's been grinding my gears. And I mean, as far as Cam, I miss the old Cam. I don't know if they took that nigga old personality with his old teeth, but this new nigga, man, he just a little too savage, bro. And I mean, even for the way he handling this situation, I'm not saying nobody's right or wrong, but in this situation, knowing that you are the superior and knowing the history that y'all had, whether he grew up in the Bronx or Harlem or whatever, because like I told my man, I mean, I grew up in places, but I got friends in other places. My grandma lived in other places. You got family members, but I don't say I'm from those areas. I mean, I don't do that. But I mean, for me, I do have what they call a residency. So for the longest of my knowledge, Jim Jones' whole career, he lived in Harlem. He had a pretty lengthy career as of now. So I'm gonna say that he could say he was in Harlem. As far as you growing up with him, that's a different joke or a different stab. But to me, I feel he can claim Harlem. I mean, if I grew up somewhere and I spent all the 25 plus years in Germantown, I can't claim Germantown. Like that's goofy. That's just standard street shit. And I mean that's just nitpicking. As far as all the other stuff, I really don't know, man. I mean, I hope they can work it out because like I said, Cam saying it's not, but from what the world sees, they had a pretty lengthy relationship. Everything with them seems to have been on the up and up. I remember when Cam disappeared, aka allegedly. I mean, they said his mom was sick and he had to go take care of his mom, which I respect. I do kind of remember Jimmy kind of manning the fort a little bit. I mean, I do remember Jimmy getting a little selfish because he was getting that VH1 bread. So when he was getting that VH1 bread, it wasn't really about Dipset like that. But I do remember that anybody that was dropping any music as far as from the Dipset group was Jim Jones. Santana dropped a few times, but he had his other issues where he wasn't dropping music like that. So Jimmy was the only one that was actually out there dropping and shit like that. Jimmy went out and got another deal. So I mean, I can say that Cameron started Dipset, but Jimmy definitely kept it alive during his absence. And when he came back, I can say he did come back pretty fair with it. He did come back and take the ranks over like I say he was supposed to. But the underlings are still struggling, so it's all about, a king is only strong as his cast. So that's why I don't really say much about Dipset because, King leads. And I don't see him lead nobody but himself. I mean, every other member of Dipset, like they doing Dipsets in real life. So it's like, I don't know as far as how I will look at that topic on that one. And before I go, like I said, I got one more topic that I want to touch on, and it's like the something that's big as far as like I said, the wildfires and stuff like that. And I was reading some information where they was saying that a lot of the insurance companies had dropped a lot of the people policies that would cover to repair their houses for the wildfire. And then I was sitting and doing some reading that found out that the local fire departments did a major fire, let go a bunch of firefighters around the same time as the insurance companies letting go a lot of the policies. So you got the insurance company not covering the damages, and then you got not enough fire people to put the fire out before it become a catastrophic fire. It to me does seem calculated. It's just my theory, and I mean, I keep telling people not to keep bigging my man up, and I mean not to keep putting him in the way of evil shit. But he is the one that set the tone for people to think that they can do this stuff. And I mean, Elon Musk is having a lot of success with this stuff. So I believe Eddie Griffin when he said that they're trying to build a smart city. And I mean, why would y'all not expect Silicon Valley to not try to build the first smart city before Texas do it, which is also the next biggest tech state if people didn't know. But it's definitely a lot of things that I think that needs to be investigated into that wildfire. I truthfully don't think nothing will ever happen because when people don't understand, people who have the power to make something like that happen also has the power to make sure we never know what happened. And if we do ever know what happened, it will probably be so long down the line where nobody can be, you know. But I don't know how many people died in it. I keep hearing about how so many people lost homes and stuff like that, but I didn't physically hear how many people died in the wildfire. So, it's definitely something that I feel need to be investigated on a federal level the same way they investigate terrorists and shit like that with all that money and resources from the government and the taxpayers. I feel that this should get the same amount of investigation. Definitely a couple documentaries and stories. I know some people witnessed some things that live closer to where it started. Um, Hopefully they don't disappear or develop some type of amnesia. I don't know. But that's definitely something, I definitely will be look into. But for me, I definitely, wish that, I was one of those big successful YouTubers so I can contribute more than just a conversation to y'all guys. But I'm definitely keeping, all the people in spirits that was affected by it. Um, I hope that a lot of this stuff is just internet talk and lies, and I mean these people are able to rebuild and continue their life from before, and it's not just a scam to take the area to turn it into something where people can never afford to live where they previously lived at. I hope that's not the case. But as far as that, uh, you know, that's all I got for you guys tonight. I mean, I had a few topics, like I said, that was grinding my gears, and I hadn't really done anything in a while, and I like to get a lot of this stuff off my chest, So I'll be holding it for these specific platforms and things because this is where I come, where I share anything, from Dirk to Diddy, the wildfires, to so on and so forth. I mean, this is what this place is for us to be able to talk and discuss any topic that we want to. Um, not trying to say, but what premise of what made me make this platform. Um, it wasn't the rush to make a platform because, like I said, I own multiple platforms, so it ain't really nothing. I hope people do know I could loan you. I ain't gonna say you. I mean, you could. I mean, if you do the work, but building a platform is not hard, but it's not easy. Um, but when I build my platforms, I'm building them around things that I love. Most people will probably think on a Friday night I would be looking forward to watching basketball. When in all reality, I'm looking forward to watching Bill Myers. I love current events. I love to know what's going on in the world. I love to know, what's going on now. So when I made this show, it was more kind of like a Bill Myers feel because it's not a cap on what we can talk about. And then on top of that, I know I'm funny as hell when I want to be, and then eventually I hope it grows to something where, we have other guests and hosts and things like that because the platforms that y'all see today, I'm a visionary. So they start out with me because I figure, okay, you get some episodes in the pipeline and then let people see that it's a real thing and they really trying to build. And then that's when you bring in, people who help you grow it farther. Because even for me, I have my limits of what I'll do because my mind is split between so many projects. Y'all see my face on, Urban Tasters, Chronic Series, you know, Battles and Brawls. I mean, I got other platforms, Faceless too, platforms. So with me, my mind is always thinking about the next episode, the next episode, the next episode. So that's why I try to make these ones a little lengthier, pause. Plus, I try to put a little more topics inside of them because that way it's not just a one thing. Then we can split them up, and we can go back and recap on that. But that's pretty much what it's gonna be from here. I mean, it's no way but up. Like I said, I love what I do. I love, delivering it to y'all guys the way that I do. Like I tell people, it's not an act or a gimmick. I mean, I don't want to seem newsy. I don't want to seem, like an acre. I like people to feel like they getting input and data from they homie who be on the couch next to them some days, or they homie from out front, and that's the feel that I try to give everybody. Plus the people who be inspired on doing the stuff and want to build their own platform just to show them how easy it is. Because I mean, people see me and don't know what it is behind pause, and it be so many things behind me that I just don't care to share. Because it was a point in time where I was excited for everybody to know what I do, what I made, what I own. I don't give a fuck, man. I know. And when my kids get old enough, they'll know. And they need to learn because they're going to have to maintain it for me when I get older. But outside of that, I'm not really pressed about what the world knows. I mean, I'm like the type guy where I'll pull up in a $300,000 car and they be like, oh, that's a really nice car. I'll be like, yeah, it is. That's why I love it. It's a very nice car, thank you. But it's not gonna be the same appeal as that guy who jump out all arrogant, like, yeah, I know it's a nice car. Yeah, that's why I got it. And yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I know. It's the best car on the road. No, I'm not gonna do none of that. I ain't gonna say you test drive my shit either. You can look inside. You can even sit inside, sit behind the wheel, you get the feel. Like I'm one of them type people. I ain't ignorant, man. I promise the guy you run up on me, man. I got a expensive car. Yeah, you can take pictures on the shit. I don't give a fuck. I ain't one of them. Tell you too. Make sure you do it on the hood, man, because you don't want to do my license plate. Somebody might see it and realize it's mine. See what I'm saying? I'm a fair man. Now I let them know. Oh man, well look, since you did this, I ain't gonna I ain't gonna put no crazy pictures out with this joint today. I'm gonna let you linger for a minute. And then I'm gonna post my pictures and people will tell you around me I done that exactly what I'm telling you. So that's why I'm saying it ain't that deep to me. I mean, like I tell people, I have a garage worth $2 million and still drive a $30,000 car every day. Because even though I might have the money to afford that shit, I'm still worried about the maintenance, the upkeep, and all that shit. So that myself is not gonna make me driving on the daily, going to the store and all that goofy shit. So no, I don't. But I don't really be caring about stuff like that. My life is, I work for the future. I got a lot of babies that's, you know, I gotta, worry about their future. Colleges, cars, houses, all that shit, man. Some daddies got a lot of responsibility on what they want to do for their kids' futures and shit like that. I mean, I'm one of them. I can't say like I had a good example of a father. I mean, my pop did a pretty good job. He stayed around, never disappeared, always stood tall. I did bad. He still rock for the most. And that's what I do. But the imperfections and this is just my idea, the imperfections that I think that would have been a better off as far as for me coming up, that I think I got to give my kids, which is that fresh start. And a lot of times, I know a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to make my young boy, he going to get a job, he going to do this, he going to do that. No, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with making a kid get a job. There's nothing wrong with making a kid feel stability at a young age. There's nothing whatsoever wrong with it. The only thing is, some of the times, it's a way of giving your kids a better advantage. And I mean, listening, being around people and shit like that, and listen to how they do things. Like I always say, my very first vehicle in my life, my dad bought my first car, maybe two cars. And then after that, he told me I was on my. And even at that point in time, I respected it. I didn't have a problem with it because to me, it was like, damn, well, I mean, he did give me two, and I mean, them two cars should at least drove me to a couple of hours to be able to buy my own first car. And it just kind of played in my mind a lot. So I was appreciative for that. I know some people ain't even get that. So I was more than appreciative about that. But certain things like I think about your parents tell you, oh, you should learn how to cook, you should learn how to clean, you should learn how to do this stuff, whatever. See the way I want to set my babies up where, they don't have to worry about that. Yeah, they can get little teenage jobs, shit like that, but it all depends on how they grades and stuff is looking. If they can keep it, because I feel as though as that if I'm fine, they fine. They don't need that shit. Their education is what they need because the education is gonna take care of them, not that motherfucking Wendy's job, teenage Wendy's job, or scooping ice cream somewhere. So for that reason, I'd rather give them the first benefits of, what most people work for so they can understand. And I can let them know, like, okay, you 18, here go your first brand new car. So now at the age of 18, you understand what it's like to own a brand new spanking car, no maintenance, no nothing. All you gotta do is top it off, let them fix it, and go from there. So within them couple years, that car gonna be running under that warranty and being brand new, that's the time for you to get yourself to where you can afford to buy your own next car. So hopefully I can help you set the tempo to know, okay, every time I'm getting me a brand new car, I'm not riding around with a piece of shit old car. That's the mentality I'm trying to teach with that. And then I'm not saying I'm a real estate tycoon, but like I said, I like to buy stuff, invest. So of course I have investment properties okay here. You 21, 22, whatever age I set, whatever age I want you out, I got you in a house, I'm gonna give you a house. Flat out. Go downtown, we can do the paperwork. It's yours, whatever the case may be. And that's your first property. No debt, no nothing. Taxes and bills. Now, if you choose to live in it, because by it being my babies, of course it's gonna be a good property. Now they not getting no motherfucking Kensington property, no shit like that. It's gonna be something that I feel comfortable putting my kids in. And that's the way a lot of their houses will probably be. Now, whatever they choose to do with them afterwards, if they choose to, oh, I don't like it, or I want a bigger house, or if they find their own success and say, okay, well, listen, Dad, I just want to use it as a rental property, and that is what it is. Or, like I said, I got all female, so they can say, okay, well, listen, Dad, I have kids, and the house you gave me is not big enough for us anymore. Can I think I want to sell the house and put down on the down payment on another one. I mean, for me, this is all conversation. Because once we go downtown, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. But the one thing I am going to tell you, Daddy ain't going to give you another one. You just one. Keep it, flip it, rip it, whatever you do with it. That's on you. But I'm not giving you another one. So if it's 5, 6 years in the line and your sister still got theirs and they rocking and rolling and they life looking good and you wish you would have kept yours, there is no do-overs. I mean, of course, like I say, I'm only giving you that first step. I mean, I like to give y'all a little bag too, but I don't believe in giving kids lump sums of money at a young age because I need them to work for something. So a lot of the stuff that I got put up for them financially, it'll be probably in the shadows to where they won't be able to obtain it right away. So that's why I say the goals I set because we ain't no stranger. Ain't no spring chicken. You know, in today's eyes, I'm getting to the age of what people consider as an older gentleman. So it could be a possibility, the way that they wiping us out. Shit, my kids, I can be out of here in 5 years, 10 years, I don't know. But in my eyes, I need to make sure that my kids are financially stable. I mean, I would like to make sure they are financially educated enough too to know how to maneuver, without me. As far as for me, I do what I do for them. Even as far as these platforms. Um, and I'm just a last tip that I'm gonna share with y'all before I get out of here. Like as far as these platforms, everything has a plan bigger than what it is. Um, a lot of people probably wonder why do I own so many platforms? Because when I started making these platforms or coming up with them, creating whatever you call them, I had a bigger plan, and I got other visions inside of this stuff. Me and my homie was just brainstorming tonight about creating some little short films and stuff like that based off our imaginations and a mixture of our stories to protect the innocent. But we got some pretty cool stuff that I really think would be interesting from people. I mean, of course, by it being immediate to us, the city should chain on. And then I think a lot of people around the world would like a lot of stuff we got to offer. But the whole dream is for all of this stuff to be on a network one day. And I tell people all the time I done already hit big, so it ain't nothing new to me. So my thought is my mind is way ahead because I know it's there again. I was already told, keep creating, we watching. So that's what I do, and I mean I hope one day I can put all of these things under an umbrella. And instead of going to sit down saying, hey, let me get a deal for this, no, I can get a network deal. So instead of that 4 or 5 million that you're gonna give me to sign my show on, I can try my best to make a bunch of creative products to where I can get 100, 200 million from the rip because they buying into the whole enchilada. And then they'll see the product or the profit that I can't talk about on a video, but I got some other things with the network to make it unique and being able to have my own movies and TV shows because I got a couple other things too, like TV shows, and I get tired of that stuff having seasons and episodes. I might be saying too much, but I got a couple ideas for some TV shows, a couple movies. I got even some great shows that I think could look good on national TV. So that's why I say it's a lot of things that I might be shopping outside of my circle, but that's only because of I know the business enough to know where it will hit it. So for me to try to launch a show like that show myself on an urban platform, I don't really think it'd get the success it would get on a Weed or a Owns network or something like that. I really feel that show would be perfect for that. But you know, hopefully, I keep telling y'all 2025, y'all gonna see my face. That's why I keep making these videos. One way or another, y'all gonna see my face every day. Through views, through being outside. I'm not going nowhere. My platform's gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep building. As long as I can talk and move and my equipment work, I'm ahead. So as always, man, make sure y'all guys like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell because they are big things coming up on the platform, and I definitely want people to stay informed. And I definitely appreciate y'all who rock with me, ones who subscribe, definitely the ones who like, or even the ones who just watch. I mean, thing like I tell people, man, to me, support comes in many forms. A lot of people keep screaming, subscribe, subscribe. I mean, nah, man, even for you to view is a sign of support to me because that means you took time out of your life to sit down and see what I was talking about. That support, or even for you giving me the chance of being able to, get supported from you. So I mean, I'm a real humble person when it comes to things like that. And even the ones that don't, I am able to. I'm willing to work myself into people's hearts so I can be a household name and a face y'all see every day because I do feel that it's due time. It's due time. It's a lot. And I mean, I can't give away everything on my platforms because What if I had to do a press run or I had to go through people podcasts? I'm gonna give you all my gems for me to talk about on there when they ask me questions. So I'll be trying to be fair, man. I do be holding back a lot of information. There's a lot of shit I could put out there about myself. A lot of shit I could put out there in general. It just don't, not the time. But as always, man, make sure you guys check me out. And I look forward to seeing y'all guys next time as always. Definitely appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. We out.